I want to tell you about a founder I met who had everything: sharp mind, good network, real hunger to build something. Every time I spoke to him, I walked away thinking that this guy's going to do something serious. But every time I came back to this guy, he was working on something different. First, a SaaS product, then a consulting business, then an e commerce play, then back to SaaS, but a different niche. 6 months later, something entirely different. Same energy, same intelligence, same potential, zero compounding. He never reached what he was actually capable of. Not because he had lacked ability, but because he could never stay in one place long enough for the work to accumulate into something real. I've been there, I've done this. I know exactly what it feels like from the inside. And today, I want to talk about that pattern, why it happens, and a 5 point filter that tells you whether the idea in front of you is actually worth your full commitment. Shiny object syndrome hits sharp people harder. This is what I've seen in my life. A smart founder can see the potential in almost anything. They look at a new idea and immediately map out how it could work, who the customer is, what is the model, what it looks like, and how big it could get. The vision comes fast and it comes clear. That ability is genuinely valuable. It is also the thing that makes staying in one place almost very painful. Because when you can see potential in almost everything, nothing looks obviously wrong. Every new idea has a real case, and the current thing you're working on, which is past the exciting early stage and now deep in the difficult execution phase, starts to look less promising than the new thing, which is still in the exciting early stage. You're not comparing the two ideas fairly. You are comparing the new idea at its best to the old idea at its hardest. That comparison will always favor the new idea and it will always mislead you. Now, let me give you a picture of for this. You go to the market to buy tomatoes. You want the best ones. So you look through the basket. You pick one up, check it, put it down, pick another one, check it, put it down, and keep going. That makes sense. You should find the good tomato. But imagine doing that for 3 years. Picking up tomatoes, checking them, putting them down, picking up new ones, never actually buying anything, and going to home to cook. At some point, the problem is not the tomatoes. The problem is that you have no clear standard for what makes a tomato right for you. So every tomato looks good enough to consider and not quite good enough to commit to. Have you ever felt that? Now, most founders with shiny object syndrome are standing in the market genuinely trying to find the right one with no filter for what right actually means. So what I'll do is I'll give you a filter. The 5F filter. 5 questions. Run every idea through all 5 before you go all in. The first F is feel. Do I actually care about this beyond the excitement of a new idea? Excitement fades. It always fades. Usually around month 4 or 5, when the work stops being new and starts being repetitive and difficult. What carries you through that phase is not excitement. It is genuine care for the problem you're solving. If your honest answer is that you care deeply about this, then move to the next filter. If your honest answer is that you're excited right now but cannot say why it matters to you beyond the opportunity, sit with that before you proceed. The second F is fit. Do I have natural strengths, skills, or advantages that make me the right person to build this? That should be a core part of what this business requires, where you are genuinely strong, where your background and your natural way of thinking gives you an edge. If you're building something that requires capabilities you fundamentally do not have and do not enjoy developing, you will hit a ceiling very, very early in this journey. Not because the idea is bad, but because the idea and the person building are mismatched. The third F is fuel. Can I work on this for the next 3 years, even when it becomes boring? Not 3 years of success, 3 years of the difficult, repetitive, unglamorous version. The version where you are solving the same problems repeatedly, where growth is slower than you hoped, where the work is no longer exciting but still has to get done. Most ideas look good in the exciting version. The filter is whether the idea still makes sense at its most boring and the most difficult phase. The fourth F is future. Does building this move me closer to the kind of person I want to become, or it doesn't? Every business you build shapes you. The skills you develop, the people you spend time with, the people you think about every day, or the problems you think about every day, the market you think about every day. 5 years from now, if the business is working and you have been fully inside it, who have you become? Is that person someone you respect or want to be? That's not a soft question. It is the one of the most practical ones on the list. Because if the person you become through this work is not someone you want to be, the success of the business will feel hollow. And you will eventually leave it even if it's working. And the fifth F is feasibility. Can this actually work in the market? Is there a real customer who has a real problem and will actually pay real money to solve it? Not in theory, not based on your enthusiasm for the idea, but based on the evidence. Talk to 10 potential customers before you commit, not to pitch them, just to understand whether the problem you think exists actually exists for them and whether they are looking for a solution. 10 conversations will tell you more than 10 months of building in isolation. So run every idea through all 5 filters: feel, fit, fuel, future, and feasibility. The best tomato is not the one that looks the brightest. It is the one you can build with, stay with, and grow with. And here's the line I want to leave with you, because for a founder with shiny object syndrome, this is the real test. Do you like the idea, or do you like the lifestyle of being the person who builds that idea? There is a version of entrepreneurship that is attractive as an identity. The founder who is always working on something new and exciting, always in the early stage, always talking about potential and vision and what could be. That identity keeps you in the exciting phase permanently. It never asks you to stay when things get hard. Real building asks you to stay when things get hard, things get tough, pain gets unbearable sometimes. Running the 5 filters once is not enough. The excited mind is very good at convincing very quickly. You can talk yourself into almost anything in a single sitting when a new idea has just arrived. So here's the rule I give every founder I work with. If the idea passes all 5 filters today, do nothing for the next 2 good weeks. No planning, no pitching it to the people, no building the deck, not telling anyone about it. Just sit with it. If it still passes all 5 filters, 2 weeks later, you have something worth taking seriously. The most shiny objects do not survive 2 weeks of patient waiting. The excitement fades, the clarity dissolves. You realize the idea was interesting, but not something you actually wanted to build for 3 years. The one that survives 2 weeks are worth your full commitment. So now I want to say something about what happens on the other side of this before I close. When you pick one thing and stay in it past the point where it stops feeling exciting, something starts to happen that cannot happen any other way. You develop specific knowledge, not general knowledge about business or marketing, but specific knowledge about this market, this customer, this problem. That knowledge compounds. Every month you are in it, you understand something you did not understand the month before. You see things a newcomer cannot see. You build relationships that take time to build. That compounding is what separates the founder who builds something real from the founder with crazy potential who never quite got there. The founder I told you about at the beginning had the ability. He genuinely did. What he did not have was enough time in any single space or place for that ability to compound into something. Potential without commitment is just energy, and energy without direction dissipates. The 5F filter solves the front end of the problem. It helps you pick the right tomato, but there is a second problem that comes right after. Staying committed to that choice when the difficult phase arrives. When the excitement is gone and the work is hard and the new ideas start appearing on the horizon again. That's where most founders lose it. Not in the choosing, but in the staying. The structure that keeps you in it is what I teach inside my method, the founder execution method, built specifically for founders, business owners, and freelancers who want to find the right thing and then actually build it all the way. I'm doing a free webinar. The link is in the description. I want you to register, show up for the webinar, reserve your 2 hours, and take action. End of the video. Find your tomato, run it through the 5 filters, wait 2 good weeks. If it still holds, go all in. If this video helped you, share it with one founder in your circle who keeps starting things and wondering why nothing compounds. Register for the masterclass. See you in the next one.